Welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to talk about kind of like de-influencing you if you're a new runner. I want to start kind of incorporating more fitness and running content on my channel, but the matter of fact is that I am a scaredy cat. I am terrified of filming in public. So that's something we're gonna work on for the second half of the year. So, no promises, but maybe it'll just be sit down content. But we're starting with baby steps, which is me in the comfort of my own bedroom. All right, a few weeks ago, last month, whenever that was, I did my recap of my first race, which was the Brooklyn Half Marathon, and I talked about products that I found helpful. And now I kind of want to do the opposite of that and talk about what I don't find helpful or what I don't think that you need as a beginner. It can be, especially as soon as you start running, you are going to get Instagram content like it's nobody's business. Your feed will just be running, and over time when you just see people having really specific items, you kind of start to think to yourself like, do I need this? And so I'm just gonna give you a rundown of what I don't think you need as a beginner runner and like don't get bamboozled. And the first thing is buying gear without knowing your needs. So if there is something in this list that you like, obviously like you're entitled to own it, to buy it, do whatever you want. But I guess this is just for like, if you have no clue what these things mean, then avoid them. And that's kind of like the rule of thumb for buying running stuff is like, don't buy something until you know that you need it. Running shoes, running gear, clothes, supplements, everything is really expensive. It can add up. Like easily you could spend $2,000 in an afternoon on running stuff if you just went wild. For example, I found that I didn't need a running vest for training for the half marathon. A running belt is what I needed. I needed more than just my pockets could carry. So I knew that I needed some more storage, but I didn't need a full running vest. And running vests are expensive. They're like $160, some of them. I mean, you can get cheaper ones for $40. Like they range from like, $40, $50 all the way up to $200. So that's something you have to like really think about. Like, do I actually need this, or am I just seeing like a lot of people wearing running vests? And that's not to say that if you're wearing short distances, you shouldn't wear a running vest. I didn't need a running vest, so why would I buy one? But if you want to wear a running vest literally on a half-mile run and you feel like that's going to help you and you have a lot of stuff to carry, then do it. It's so individual. Like what you need to accomplish to be a successful runner, it's so just dependent on your preferences. And kind of like rolling off of that same idea, buying shoes you keep seeing influencers wear without knowing your preference or without trying them on first. What's really great is a lot of stores will actually let you test the shoes. The ASICS in the Meatpacking District in New York has a treadmill, so you can literally put the shoes on and test run them. I test ran them I was wearing jeans and a sweater, so I actually got to run in these shoes, which was awesome. And then I asked, hey, can I like run at home? Could I run on the treadmill? And if I really hate these, can I return them? They were like, yeah, absolutely. Like as long as it's not like you didn't wear these to like an ultra marathon, you can return them. So that's great too. I actually bought a pair of Nike running shoes a couple months ago because I'm kind of at that point now where I feel like I need a shoe rotation. And so I bought this pair of the Nike Vomeros. They were super comfortable when I tried them on in the store. I was like, wow, these are going to be a great like tempo run. They're a little bit more sturdy. I ran 2 miles on the treadmill, and I have this thing where if the toe box isn't wide enough, or if it's like too stiff of a shoe, my toes go numb. I don't know what that's all about, but yeah, my pinky toes all the way up to like my middle toe numb, and my legs just felt heavy running in these shoes. So I returned them. I was like, yeah, I can't do this. And honestly, I was influenced. I've seen everybody talk about these Vomero. Am I even saying that right? Vomero. I think they're the 18s or whatever. So I was like, everybody loves these. Everybody was saying that they're a plushy shoe. Everybody was like, these are so comfortable. They're so plushy. And when I tried them on in person, I was like, okay, well, they're definitely not plushy, but I am looking for a more, like I said, sturdy shoe for tempo, for speed work. So I was like, maybe these will be it, because they've still got that cushion that people say, but they're a little bit more sturdier than my ASIC Noblesse 5s. Hated them. So that really taught me, like, you gotta chill. Shoe preferences especially are so individual. So try them on in store and then ask if you can test them. Most places say yeah, which I think is so great, because wearing them in the store and like walking around, jogging back and forth in the store is not the same as like doing like at least a mile in them, right? I like need to run at least a mile to see if they're good. So just know that the shoe that you end up with might not be like the most trendy, coolest shoe that everybody's wearing, but it just matters that the shoe fits you and that it's comfortable. You could like actually run in it. Okay, I've got a couple points on shoes, so we're gonna be talking about shoes for a few more minutes. A shoe rotation. I know I just said that I've been looking to add another shoe to to my rotation, but I think when you're starting out, I don't think that you need a shoe rotation if you're an average runner. Again, this is so dependent. Like maybe you're like, oh, but girl, I have like XYZ problem with my feet and I need a shoe rotation. Or like I love to run when it's raining, so I need a pair that's normal and I need a Gore-Tex pair. Again, you will figure out what you need. But if you're just a beginner runner and you're like, please help me, is this that important? I don't think it's that important. As a beginner runner myself, I trained for my entire half marathon in my Asics Nova Blast 5, and then I ran the half marathon in my Asics Nova Blast 5. I didn't feel like I needed a shoe rotation, especially because my main goal for the half marathon was just to finish, like just to cross that line. So I didn't need a race day shoe. I didn't need a tempo speed interval shoe. I just did everything in the same pair of shoes. For my training plan, I had speed days, I had long runs, I had easy runs, I had tempo runs, I had trial time runs, and I did all of those in the same pair of shoes. And the reason I don't recommend getting a shoe rotation at the very beginning is, one, it's expensive, okay? A pair of running shoes, budget for $200. Mine were $150. So if I had gotten 2 pairs of shoes, that's $300 right off the bat to do something that essentially should be free, right? Like you can just go outside and run. Like it should be a low barrier to entry. But now, because of all these gadgets, like it is kind of an expensive thing to get into. So if you're going for a shoe rotation right off the bat, like if I would have bought a shoe for like my long run / easy run, okay, that would have been like the Nova Blast, and then I got a tempo speed work run, and then I got a race day shoe, which let's say I got like something fancy like $200-300, that's like $600 in shoes. And I don't know what kind of jobs you ladies have, but that's not gonna cut it over here. I think the best is to get a shoe that's going to be good for a long run and easy run, because especially when you're just starting out, those are the types of runs that you're doing the most. You're figuring out your body, you're figuring out how you run, and probably just staying in zone 2 for the entire run. At least that's how I built up my base. So I don't even think a shoe rotation would have been helpful, and I also don't think I would have known how to implement that. And now I've been running for about like 9 months, so still very beginner, right? I'm starting to think about a shoe rotation. I think I'll probably get them in the fall. To be honest, this summer heat, I'm like running on the treadmill most days. I'm really not. I've probably lost a lot of my like running ability because I've been just doing like 3-mile, 4-mile runs. That's kind of like my comfort zone right now, 2 to 4 miles. So even now, like I don't need it because I'm not doing a lot of different types of runs. I will be running the 2026 New York City Marathon. So when I train for that, I plan on having a shoe rotation because, well, first of all, it's just gonna be a lot more mileage than I've ever been used to, and I think it will be good for my feet. And also at that point, I'll be running for 2 years, like consistently 2 years. And I think by that point, I'll be able to really understand my body and understand how to match shoes to different types of runs. So save your money if you're a beginner. You definitely do not need a shoe rotation. And my last thing about shoes, carbon plated shoes. I don't think we need that right off the bat. I guess I should start with what a carbon plated shoe is. It's it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a shoe with a carbon plate. They're very expensive. They range from like $300 to $350, typically in that range. And you can only wear them for a very limited amount of miles, usually around 250 to 300, where like an average running shoe, you could get 400, 500 miles if you really like, you know what I mean, are pushing it. So it's typically a shoe that people wear on race day. I think especially as a slow runner, carbon plates just aren't, I feel like you're not getting your investment out of the shoe. Carbon plated shoes only make you like 1 second faster per mile. It's something stupid crazy like that. Like it doesn't seem worth it. Not to be against anybody's pace, because I'm a slow runner. I'm always in the last corral L for last, L for loser apparently. Like they really couldn't just make the last corral M or K. They had to do L. Anyway, I'm always at the back of the pack, right? And for us back there, I don't think that a carbon makes sense, right? Like if you're in the front of the pack, that 1 second difference, that 1 second faster per mile, it is a difference between you winning and losing, like placing second, placing third. So I understand why the fast people wear them. For beginner runners who are also have a slower pace like me, I just don't find the investment in the shoe to be worth it. I'm not at a point where I'm making immense progress in speed, and so I don't need that extra tool at the moment. Does that make sense? It's kind of like everything. Like if you're, I don't know, a triathlete or something, and you start with a cheap bike and then you upgrade. It kind of seems to me like something like that, right? It's something that you wear when you're like experienced and you're ready and you've like maybe improved a little bit. And also wearing carbon plated shoes, it's because of that carbon plate, you can get injured if you don't know what you're doing. And that's another reason, well, the main reason I avoid them is just because of the price. It's like insane, but you can injure yourself, and it's usually, I've heard it puts a lot of strain on your calves, and my calves are so damn tight, it's like ridiculous. So I don't even think I'd want to use them. And so if I'm running a marathon at like, let's say I get faster, let's say I run a marathon at an 11-minute pace, and I'm wearing carbon plates the entire time for like the entire 5 hours, it's so much strain, extra strain on my calves and like my ankles that I could have avoided if I had just worn like a really plush shoe, you know? I think it makes sense if you're only spending 2.5 hours, 3 hours running the marathon, but when you're in like the 5, 6, it's like don't you want to be comfortable? It just seems like the carbon plated shoe is not made for comfort, it's made for like performance. And for me, I'm gonna choose comfort over performance when I'm already back of the pack, right? Like I'm placing in the last 10%. So why would I spend $300 to be a nanosecond faster and then potentially injure myself? So I don't think you need it. I think eventually, cool. Even, you want to get a pair and be fun. Good for you. Do that at like a 5K once you've been running for a while, but right off the bat, seems like a waste of money. My next specific product is Oakley sunglasses, because you're gonna see all the hot bitches wearing these sunglasses. And I'm gonna be so honest, I want a pair. My husband thrifted a pair. Yeah, we went to Other People's Clothes in Brooklyn, which is kind of in the same vein as like Crossroads, Buffalo Exchange. You know what I mean? It's like not a Goodwill. It's not a Salvation Army. It's like they like buy clothes. Anyway, he sold some stuff, and then he got some Oakley sunglasses for free because he used the credit from selling his clothes, and they were like $300 sunglasses that I think they were selling for $50, and then he got them for free, and he looks so cool in them. They're too big for my head though. Anyway, so he looks cool. Whenever we go on runs, it's like, okay, he's the professional. You know what I mean? Like, okay, clearly he's the one who ran the half marathon. No, I do want some, but they're dumb expensive. They're like $300. That's crazy. I've been in my budget girl era, so I've been setting aside money every month from like my wants. Okay, like I have a budget for what I can spend on the wants, and then what I don't spend, I like put to the side. And so maybe I'll save up for a pair, because I do think for the full marathon training, these would be great to have. Right now they're called knockarounds. I got them at the Brooklyn Half Expo, and they're perfect for what they are, a cheap pair of sunglasses that I truly don't give a shit about. I could throw them in the middle of the street right now. They'd get ran over by a bus, and I'd be like, well, see you later. I don't care. They do slip. They said they were non-slip. They do slip. It's not the end of the world. All the sunglasses slip when you get that sweaty. It's kind of inevitable. But yeah, so for now, those are like serving me well. They are polarized. They're polarized. Polarized? Why do I feel like I'm saying that weird? Polarized. Is that right? So eventually I would like to get these sunglasses. I think they'd be nice. I think they'd be nice to have. But it's something that you definitely do not need right off the bat. For the first 6 months of my running, literally up until the Brooklyn Half Expo, I was just running in like my Ray-Ban sunglasses, and because I wear those in a fashion way, I was like, all right, like I should probably get like a dedicated outdoorsy like running pair of sunglasses. So I'm really happy with that purchase. Again, that's why you need to wait, because you just don't know what your needs are yet. Like I didn't even buy any kind of outdoorsy sunglasses at first. I just wore what I had, and then realized like, yeah, I would like a pair of running sunglasses. Also, protecting my eyes, protecting my skin is so important to me. So if I'm gonna be spending a lot of time outside in the sun, because marathon training for a fall marathon starts in June, I don't think that's like a bad thing to buy, but you definitely don't need it right away, especially as a beginner runner, because you're probably going to be outside running for like 2 miles. You can definitely get away with buying something else. If you like the style of the Oakleys, a ton of brands, Gooder, that's a brand people really like for running sunglasses. There's a ton of other brands that make kind of like dupes. So if you really, really love that style, just find something a little cheaper. Spend like $30. And another reason you should wait to buy stuff is like, you don't know if you're gonna love running. In my experience, it took 30 runs before I felt like good in my body, right? I persevered and I kept going, but you might get to a point where you've been running for months and you're like, actually, I hate this. I actually don't like doing this, and I would rather just lift weights at the gym and like do the stair stepper, which is totally fine. Like not everybody's gonna like running, you know what I mean? So give yourself some time to figure out if you're even going to do this long term before you waste a lot of your money. And this goes with running outfits as well, getting trendy little outfits that you don't even know are gonna function for your body. You know, when I do Pilates, I can wear low impact leggings, and I can wear, you know, like a cute like little v-neck bra, like Like there's more room for me to look cutesy. I don't have to worry about the sun, right? Like I can do like a low loose pony with some like strands sticking out. Even when I'm weightlifting, I actually typically wear like low impact leggings, and I can wear like a oversized cotton t-shirt, or even then I can wear something a little cuter because I'm not like, you know, doing these like high intensity movements. And running, I found that I need a lot of different things. My thighs touch. I cannot wear flouncy shorts. I bought a pair of flouncy shorts at the beginning of my running journey, and now I only wear them when I'm going on walks, and they'd be good for hiking. But no matter the flouncy short, I will get chafing, and so my shorts need to be a minimum of a 6-inch inseam biker shorts, and they have to be compressive. That's how I feel good in my body. And I don't love wearing like a deep cut while I'm running. I just don't feel very comfortable. So for me, what I'm wearing is actually like a huge part of succeeding in the run, because I don't want to be thinking about, you know, how's my shirt fitting, or like, ugh, like my shorts are running up and I'm chafing. I'm not going to do well. I'm not going to succeed as well as I could on the run compared to if I was actually wearing stuff that I know works for my body, which is leggings. I love running in leggings, and I love running in bike shorts, like high impact made for running leggings and bike shorts. That's what I wear. So what I'm saying is, again, don't go out and buy stuff that you don't know will work for your body. If I had just bought those little, well, there's two that are really popular right now. I've talked about these a ton, but the Nike Aeroswift shorts. Okay, they have like a full slip up the side. I don't feel comfortable with my whole booty out. It's already enough carrying that thing around. I don't need to feel self-conscious that everybody can see it. I don't like that. So everybody's wearing these Nike Aeroswift ones that literally like cut up the side, and at the end of the day you just look like you're wearing running underwear, which is fine. Like I don't judge anybody who wears these. Like if I see your butt out on a run, I don't even have a thought about it. I'm just like, oh, that's a butt. That's it. But I just don't feel comfortable. And then the second one everybody's wearing are these Free People, the flirty flounce shorts. I tried these on because I was curious. I tried them on and I audibly gasped and laughed at the same time. I was like, this looks ridiculous on me, and I just know that it would be Chafe City Central. I cannot do it, will not do it. But on the other hand, you might be somebody who tries on bike shorts and you're like, I hate how compressive this is. I don't like how there's no airflow. You don't know what you like. Do not just go log on to Free People and buy, like, you know what I mean? I see a lot of people too wearing these Free People tanks, and I own a couple Free People tanks that I really love, and I wear to the gym, and I've worn a few running, but I always have to wear a sports bra under it. I see a lot of girls wearing like just a tank top with absolutely no support, and I'm like, I don't know if that would work for me. Even though I have like a very flat chest, I just don't know if I would feel comfortable. So you're gonna figure out as you go what you feel comfortable in, what you feel good in your body, because you need to feel comfortable in two ways in your workout clothes. You need to feel comfortable physically, like do they feel good? Again, my biggest concern is chafing between my thighs. Do these shorts give me chafing? Do they feel too tight on my body? Do they feel too loose? You need to be comfortable in your body physically, and then you have to be comfortable in your body mentally. So for me, like I said, if my butt's hanging out, I am not going to feel comfortable, like emotionally, mentally. It's just I'm gonna be in my head for the whole run. So you need those two aspects of comfortability in your workout gear, and it's so individual. If I bought what everybody else was buying, I wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't be happy at all. I'd be miserable. You're gonna figure out what you like, and then when you figure out what you like, it's easier to take recommendations from people. So now that I know that I like bike shorts, I am like, okay, maybe I'll try that bike short next if I have to add another one, because that person runs in bike shorts, so our preferences are similar. I've been seeing a ton of hate for Runna, and I just wanted to talk about it real quick. Yeah, I've been seeing a ton of hate on it, saying that, like, you know, it's like just automatically generated for you. It's not like one-on-one coaching, and that a lot of people get injured when they use Runna. Well, first of all, yeah, I know what I signed up for. It's like $100 a year. Of course it's not one-on-one training. Are you kidding me? Do you know how much a running coach is? I looked into it because I do plan on booking a couple sessions with a running coach, because I have some speed goals that I want to work on, and I think my form is just kind of trash right now. So it's like $150 a session, which, not to say that that's like too high of a price. They're valuable. Their work is valuable, right? Their skills, their education, their knowledge is worth that much money, but it is expensive. And unfortunately, there is a financial barrier to affording a running coach. So most of us can't afford that. And second of all, I don't think that it's Runna making runners injured. I think that it's just an aspect of running in general. I think honestly, every person that I've heard of has had a minor setback in half marathon training, in marathon training, because the load can get so heavy, and even if you're an experienced runner, like something small can take you out. Pushing yourself too much can take you out. One of the first 5Ks that I ran in the city, I pushed myself so hard that I couldn't run for like the next 5 days because I totally screwed up my foot by just like having the race day high take over me. So you can get injured at any time if you have no training plan, if you're using Runna, if you're using a running coach. So I don't really think that's like a relevant criticism. I paid for it with my own money. I did the specific training block for the Brooklyn half and I loved it. I liked that I didn't have to think. You put in the days that you're available to run and it just spits you out a plan. It had me doing 3 runs a week, which is very manageable for me as a beginner runner. I felt like if I would have done 4 or 5 runs a week, that would have been way too much for me to handle. I felt like the mileage increases were reasonable, but I also skipped a few runs here and there, right? So I don't really understand the Runna hate personally. I do think it's a great option for beginner runners. I have a code that I'll link down below. It's like my personal code that you like send to your friends and family, and then you get 2 weeks free, and then I get like $12 and like a redeemable credit or something, but I don't work with them like in sponsorships. It's just like my own personal referral link that anybody can have. Okay, well that is everything that I wanted to talk about. Just like a de-influencing you as a beginner runner. You don't need it all. You'll figure it out over time. So I hope this was helpful. I think a lot of people like jump the gun when they get into a new hobby because buying stuff gives like you a great dopamine rush, and it's like exciting, and it's like exciting to get new stuff. And whenever I buy stuff for running or like a hobby, it does feel like back to school shopping, which I feel like most of us as kids loved. So it kind of feels like that, you know, like at the beginning of the year you'd be like, oh, buying my new like shoes for the year, my new tennis shoes for the year, buying a few little tops, whatever. So it can be really exciting to buy stuff, but you just don't want to buy the wrong crap and then you've wasted a ton of money. So I hope that this helped you maybe make a few smarter decisions and feel more calm about like what you can avoid. So that's it for me. I'm trying to do more running content. There's definitely more of it on my Instagram story, although not like crazy. Again, I just haven't been outside really a lot because I hate summertime. That's it for me. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.